Arlington, very good morning and welcome.
Namaste, Sasarikal. Good morning, my brother. How you doing, Richie?
Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate the kind in words and the kind invite. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Arlington. So, will you please introduce yourself for our
Yes.
listeners?
Hello, bonjour, Calgary-McKnight. My name is Arlington Antonio Santiago. I'm your relentless, resilient, and ready NDP champion. I went from sweeping floors to fighting for fairness. I've lived the struggle. I've sacrificed. I've built solidarity. This is what defines our community. This election isn't about politics. It's about people, protection, and power. I was a former vice president of operation and finance at the University of Calgary, where you're now a member of the Senate. I represented 29,000 students. I was also a volunteer member at the Falcon Ridge, Castle Ridge Community Association. And now I'm here, ready to represent you and ready to fight for what you deserve. Thank you.
Wow. That's great, Arlington. So, why did you decide to join NDP?
The NDP stands with the workers. The NDP stands for human rights. The NDP isn't afraid to speak truth to power. And most important, the NDP is the party that brought forward the universal healthcare that Canada is so famous for. Our values are aligned. Where the NDP stands right now, I can push it further. With your support and your belief, we will do this together.
And with the ongoing affordability crisis, how does your party plan to ease the financial burden on the Canadians?
Thank you for your question, Richie. Let's start by acknowledging that Calgary-McKnight, the median income is $34,400. That's $34,400 of misery, $34,400 of debt, $34,400 of insecurity. That means $2,866 a month. Rent is averaging around $1,700 a month. What is left? $560 for food, bills, and life. So we need to prime the setting and understand the ecosystem we're in right now. What the NDP is proposing is we want to axe the tax on GST completely. And as you may remember, this was introduced by Prime Minister Mulroney back in the 80s. What we want to do is make sure that more money stays in your pocket. That means money for you to spend with your family, money to plan for the future. We, as the NDP, with 25 members that you sent to Ottawa, we punched above our weight. We sent universal healthcare up. We propped it up for it to be better. What we're looking for to do now is to expand pharmaceutical healthcare. We want to make sure that we're building and buying Canadian. That means investing. That means retraining workers. And as you know, being a member of the Senate, education is power. That's what we need to focus on. Right now, we are being united by the cause and the attack from Trump. But that is not enough. We need to move forward with strategic ambitions, with defining what our actual target is, which is lifting people out of poverty. And let's be frank, Richie, more and more people are feeling the insecurity from the tariffs. Thank you.
That's great. Arlington, नौजवान candidate है साडे. ते Arlington, what is your age?
I'm 26 years old. Thank you for asking. I just want to comment on my age. We, the youth, will inherit this earth. History is marching, and we are the history makers. And right now, when I'm door knocking, that's something I hear about a lot. Oh, you're very young, or you're this and that. I want to remind my Punjabi brothers and sisters, how old was Gobind Singh when he founded the Khalsa? 29 years old. That means that we are never too young to stand up for human rights, to fight for our freedom, for our democracy. That means standing up against adversity with Chardikala, my friend.
Wow. ਸੋ ਮੈਂ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਜੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਉਮਰ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਮੇਰੀ 26 ਸਾਲ ਦੀ ਉਮਰ ਹੈ ਮੈਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਡੋਰ ਨੌਕਿੰਗ ਕਰਦਾ ਲੋਕ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛਦੇ ਆ ਯੂ ਆਰ ਟੂ ਯੰਗ ਤਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕਿ ਜਦੋਂ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਪੰਥ ਦੀ ਸਥਾਪਨਾ ਹੋਈ ਗੁਰੂ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਦੀ ਉਮਰ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਸੀ 29 ਸਾਲ ਦੀ ਸੋ ਉਮਰ ਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਲੈਣਾ ਦੇਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਚੰਗੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ ਕਦੇ ਵੀ ਸ਼ੁਰੂਆਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਜਾ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ ਚੜ੍ਹਦੀ ਕਲਾ ਦੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਇਹੀ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਵਰਤਿਆ ਹੈ ਚੜ੍ਹਦੀ ਕਲਾ ਦੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਹੀ ਤਿਆਰ ਰਹਿਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ That's great. You have studied it a lot.
My brother, I'm here to represent everybody. It doesn't matter where you're from. I'm Colombian originally. I was a political refugee. Canada is my home, and I'm going to defend it until my last breath.
That's great. So you studied from University of Calgary.
Correct. I have a Bachelor of Political Science, Law and Society, and Sociology. I'm currently going to graduate in May. I spent 1 year working at the student union. I represented 29,000 students. Right now, Richie, those students are getting the bare bones education. Tuition went up, the cost of living went up, yet our salaries remain the same. We need to be asking very important questions, and we need to be providing solutions for them. Students are the future of this country. We must we must invest in our future.
NDP introduced universal pharmacare at the federal level and the government accepted it. So what are the plans for universal pharmacare if you form the next government?
Well, we need to expand that. I just want to clarify. We had to negotiate with the Liberals to make sure that this was seen through. With 25 members elected, we were able to see this through. There's been a lot of criticism for us propping them up, but this is what we had to do. Thanks to our relentless commitment, 9 more million Canadians today have access to dental care. Pharmacare is just the beginning. We are looking to expand that. We are looking to make sure that you don't have to put your credit card forward, only your health card. Universal healthcare was introduced to this country by Tommy Douglas. And let's remind everybody, Tommy Douglas was voted the greatest Canadian. That's the NDP legacy.
Arlington ने थोड़ी देर broadcaster वजों भी काम किया. Arlington, you have been a broadcaster.
Correct. I used to be the host at CJSW 90.9. At the University of Calgary student station, we ran a broadcast every Thursday. It's called the Student Union Weekly Show, and it was one of the best experiences of my life. So I understand the shoes you're in, and I understand the importance of free press and free media.
And
we will not be silenced, my friend.
So nice. Thank you. Oh, so how is it when you're sitting on the other side of the mic?
It's fantastic. It's fantastic to finally be able to just express myself and be able to speak from the heart, speak from the inside, and let it all out. Because a lot of the times when I was guiding the interview, I could only prompt the questions and be the guiding hand. But now I can fulfill and fill the blanks. I really appreciate it.
So university ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਰੇਡੀਓ ਸਟੇਸ਼ਨ ਸੀ ਜੀ ਉਹਦੇ ਤੇ ਅਰਲਿੰਗਟਨ ਨੇ ਰੇਡੀਓ ਹੋਸਟ ਵਜੋਂ ਵੀ ਕੰਮ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ ਹਰੇਕ ਵੀਰਵਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਥਰਸਡੇ ਨੂੰ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸਾਡਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ ਜਿਸ ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਹੋਸਟ ਕਰਦਾ ਸੀ ਮੇਰਾ ਸਵਾਲ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਮਹਿਸੂਸ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ ਜਦੋਂ when you are on the other side of the mic ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਉਹ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਸਨ so Arlington, my question is about the tariffs that US president has imposed. So how do you think your party will fight these tariffs?
Thank you for the question, Rishi. Let's start by saying that Trump thinks Canada will cower and concede. But, you know, being an Alberta boy, Alberta holds the match that lights the fire of this economy. You know, we at the NDP believe that we need to fight tariff for tariff. Retaliatory tariffs are just the beginning. We need to withhold critical minerals. We know that the U.S. economy is based on finance and they can buy themselves around the world. But we in Canada, we have real resources that have been untapped for very long. You know, if we turn the taps off for oil, for gas, or hydro, cut the flow of energy, we will see them fold. We will see them beg for us to turn it back on. The NDP stands hand in hand with the workers who produce value in this country. We are currently working on improving EI. Our pitch is that if you work right now, let's set the stage right now. For example, when I was door knocking, I met Raj from Falconridge. He works 500 hours, but then he got injured. Under the current rules, he has zero entitlement to EI. Under our plan, 450 hours of work for 50 weeks, that's the NDP difference. That's what we want to do. We want to protect workers. We want to retrain them. We want to make sure that the value they're producing stays in this country. We want to crack down on tax havens. We're losing about $40 billion in unpaid taxes that could go to your education, that could go to your transportation system, that could lower the cost of living. This is who the NDP is. We put workers first, workers second, and workers third.
That's great. And now Canada is on way to achieving net zero by 2050. But Alberta's economy is based on energy, fuels. So how do you plan the future of energy sector of the province?
That's a very good question. I just want to paint the picture again for everybody. Only 6% of Alberta's job employment is in oil and gas. Yet, there's $18 billion in government handouts, subsidies. What we need to do is keep these keep these workers working and retrain them and re-guide them towards a sustainable future. That means renewables, that means hydrogen, that means geothermal, that means solar power. That also means giving workers the power to be part of the economy, have a stake and ownership of these companies. Right now, Alberta stands at a fork in history. Our path is to seize the future, jobs that cannot be outsourced. And let's remember that we don't have the capacity of refineries thanks to decades of governments that were conservatives and liberal who preferred to cut costs instead of investing in the future. One of the things that we need to do is bring refineries to Alberta. Make sure that we don't depend on Houston and the lobby of oil over there to dictate what price is acceptable. We sell so much oil down south and we have to buy it back 10 times the cost. This is not acceptable. Like you said, Alberta is a rich and energy fuel province. What we need to do is work together to utilize all power sources to make sure all workers are empowered. This is for your future and mine.
Before jumping to my last question, and that will be, why should people vote for you? I want to ask you to say something to my listeners, to your voters, whatever you have in your mind to say.
What I want to say, thank you, Richie. What I want to say is right now, history is marching and we are the history makers, my friends. The history will remember how we acted in times of adversity. In the spirit of Chaldecala, I want to say one thing and one thing only. We will never surrender. We will fight back and we will defend this country. I want to say personally, I grew up in this country. I was an immigrant, and this country is my home. I was 4 years old when Canada saved my family and my life. I know right now that temporary workers are being exploited. Temporary foreign workers, as a matter of fact, they're being used and tossed around. But we know immigration brings value to this country. So the NDP and Arlington will work to make sure that we reconnect families, that we are there to prevent genocides around the world. We're here for people, not for profits. And we can work together to make this happen. And then my final thoughts on this is we can't allow engineers and nurses who are qualified abroad to continue driving Ubers and delivering DoorDash. This is a disrespect to their intelligence. This is a disrespect to the immigration and the resilient spirit of our community here in Calgary-McKnight. The Northeast is united. And you know what? Arlington will make it right.
That's great. And why should people vote for you?
You should vote for me because I wake up every day at 2:30 a.m. My shift starts at 4 a.m. I work 4 to 12 every day. I am a worker just like the majority of us. I am someone who struggled. I am someone who's seen the firsthand of the resilience in this country, in this community. You should vote for me because I will put your priorities, not the developers, not the realtors, but you. People. Building homes for their future means developing the local talent. It means developing industrial capacity. It means keeping jobs in Canada. We want to serve you. My service to the community, my seva is to this community. It's not to the rich developers. You should vote for Arlington, Santiago, if you're against the status quo. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Arlington, for joining us and sharing your views. I have got a good response from so many of my listeners. Thank you very much. Wish you very good luck.
Thank you very much, Rishi. I just want to say one final thing. You guys can find me on Instagram at Calgary-McKnight. This is the name of the district I'm running to represent. On Facebook, Arlington for Calgary-McKnight. On TikTok at Calgary-McKnight. And more importantly, look forward to seeing me at your doors every day. Have a good day.
Thank you,
everybody.
Thank you very much.